My life was perfect, or so I thought. I was the heir to my grandfather's thriving company, learning the ropes from the man I admired most in the world. He was more than my grandpa. He was my mentor, my best friend. We spent every day together, and he promised me that one day I would lead the business he built from scratch. Then, one ordinary Tuesday, he was gone. He just vanished, leaving no note, no trace, nothing. The police searched, we called everyone we knew, but it was like he had disappeared into thin air. The grief was suffocating, but what came next was a nightmare I could never have imagined. The moment my grandfather was legally declared missing, my own father, his son, stepped in. But he wasn't there to comfort me. He was there to take over. He immediately seized control of the company, changed the locks, and looked at me with eyes I didn't recognize. He told me the days of me being a pampered leech were over, that my grandfather had spoiled me and that I was worthless, a freeloader who had coasted on an old man's sentimentality. Then he did the unthinkable. He packed a single bag for me, threw it onto the street, and told me never to come back. I was homeless, penniless, and utterly alone, kicked out of my own home by my own father. I had lost my grandfather, my home, and my future all at once. The first few weeks were a blur of shelters and soup kitchens. The pain of my father's betrayal was a constant, searing ache, even worse than the hunger. But in that darkness, a fire was lit inside me. I wouldn't let him be right about me. I would prove I was more than the leech he called me. I took on any job I could find, washing dishes, cleaning offices, working construction. Every dollar I earned was a victory. I saved relentlessly, living on next to nothing. I put myself through night school, studying business with a ferocity I never knew I had. My grandfather's lessons echoed in my mind, guiding me. I wasn't just surviving. I was fighting. I started a small online business from my tiny rented room. It was grueling, but slowly, painstakingly, it began to grow. I was building something of my own, something my father couldn't touch. 5 years passed. 5 long years of struggle and sacrifice. I had built my own small company from the ground up. I wasn't rich, but I was proud and I was independent. Then an invitation arrived. An invitation to the annual family reunion. My father sent it with a cruel handwritten note at the bottom. Come see what real success looks like. He wanted to gloat. He wanted to parade his stolen success in front of the one person he tried to destroy. Against my better judgment, I decided to go. I needed to face him. I walked into that lavish party feeling a mixture of dread and determination. My father stood there, holding court, basking in his stolen glory. He saw me and smirked, ready to deliver another verbal blow. But just as he opened his mouth, the grand doors of the ballroom swung open. And there, standing in the doorway, looking older and thinner but very much alive, was my grandfather. The entire room fell silent. My father's face turned ghostly white. Grandpa walked straight past him, his eyes locking onto mine. He pulled me into a hug, and for the first time in 5 years, I felt like I was home. What happened next was like a scene from a movie. My grandfather, voice booming with authority, revealed the truth. He hadn't vanished. He had been in a terrible accident in a remote area, and had suffered from amnesia for years, slowly regaining his memory in a small rural hospital. He then turned to my father, and the story of his betrayal poured out, the stolen company, the lies, and how he'd thrown me onto the street. The entire family looked on in stunned silence as my father's empire crumbled around him. That night wasn't just a reunion. It was a reckoning. My grandfather took back his company and named me his rightful successor. Not because I was his grandson, but because I had proven my worth. The leech had returned, but this time as the lion. Thank you so much for watching this incredible story unfold. If you were moved by this journey of resilience and justice, Please hit that like button and subscribe to the channel for more true stories that will leave you speechless. We'll see you in the next video.